Hey, it's been a while. Guess I've got a little bit of explaining to do about the past 2.5 years. So, I don't know how to start this video. I don't know what I want to say. So, there's a couple of cuts and things. Just bear with me because it's very emotional. I have my trusty rusty earbud in to just distract me enough to be able to speak openly about my feelings. And shit that happened. That was terrible. But we need to deal with because it's life. And I kind of want to get it off my chest anyway. So very early in 2019, at the end of February, I was retrenched from my job of many years and basically lost all of my financial security. I was in a mountain of debt, as you are when you've got a job and you live in this day and age. Such a fun time. And I had lost my job. I agreed to be retrenched because there were complications. I got a very nice package and off I went into the bright and wonderful world of content creation full-time. As a full-timer, finally, the dream of many years has been realized. And what nobody tells you is that it's super scary. It is a terrifying career to have, to literally be dependent on the kindness of strangers on the internet and for people to give you money just because they like your personality. But regardless, I lost my job at the end of February. I took most of March off because I was depressed. I was in a very bad place physically. I was in a bad place mentally. And I just felt like I needed a break. I had just started picking up nicely, like mid-April-ish. And here's where the fun starts. If you thought me losing my job and being depressed was the fun part, I've got news. So, Good Friday 2019, and yes, this is from the Wayback Machine. 2019 was not a recent year. I get that. I know this is old news to some of you who I've kept in contact with. But for the majority of you, I would just like to explain what transpired. Good Friday 2019, which was the 19th of April. My sister, one of my really close friends, and my brother were in a big car accident. For those of you who live around where I live, you might have seen it on the front page of a local newspaper. It was that magnitude of hell. And after a couple of weeks visiting my sister in hospital, and yes, weeks, my sister was fine. She recovered from most of her injuries, but we'll get around to that a little bit later. She was severely hurt. When the paramedics got on scene, they thought she was going to be it's very hard to say. They thought she wasn't going to make it to the hospital. She was going to be critical, or she would be paralyzed for the rest of her life. So a car swerved in front of them. I'm just going to abbreviate the story. Car swerved in front of them as they were turning a corner. The car hit them head on. My friend who was driving at the time swerved to protect everybody else in the car, so he took the most of the impact and subsequently was killed on impact, even though he was still alive for a week or so. There was no way he was going to recover. The entire left side of his, or right side of his body, all of the bones on the side were shattered. Like his eyeball burst. It was bad. It was very bad. So I got the call on a Friday afternoon after they had left. They were going to go away for the weekend. We got the call to rush to the hospital. My brother had minor injuries, but also the doctors were a little bit worried because he had hit his chest quite hard, and they were worried that his heart isn't quite okay. My sister broke her leg. She injured her hip. She broke a couple of toes. She banged her head. She was bleeding everywhere. She rotated 2 vertebrae in her neck, which was hard news to accept because the doctors immediately thought she was going to be paralyzed for the rest of her life from the neck down. And she's a young kid. She's much younger than I am. At that point, she was 24. I think. I had just turned 29, so that would make it like 24, 25. And that was pretty much my next month, was going up and down to the hospital, attending my best friend and her boyfriend's funeral. And that just shook everything. Like, obviously life takes priority at that point. So April went past, May went past, and my mom fell sick at the beginning of June. And what we thought was just like severe depression or a cold or flu or something, because she just had no energy. She was a shell of herself. She didn't go to work for weeks, which is very strange for her. Turns out, we found out on the 1st of July, 2019, my mom was diagnosed with 2 types of very aggressive leukemia, and we had no medical insurance. So, just as a side note, my brother's also younger than I am. He's much younger. He's 7 years younger than me. So if I was 29, he was about 22. I had to suddenly step up into a position where I looked after an entire family. So when I was very young, I moved into this place and stayed to take care of my grandparents. My grand passed away way in 2016. But I've been taking care of my granddad, and then when my mom fell sick, I was taking care of her, my sister, and my granddad at the same time, with no help and no extra money, because I wasn't working and we were broke as hell. And I had quit streaming at that point because coming off of severe depression, losing a really close friend, almost losing my sister, and now learning that my mom has super bad leukemia. Like, it was super duper aggressive. I had a lot on my plate. I was trying to get out of debt. I was trying to keep a family together. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was taking care of the dogs, I was driving up and down to hospitals, sometimes twice a day. And that lasted for months. For months and months and months and months. So my mom got diagnosed. We took her to our GP, our general practitioner doctor, and he diagnosed her with leukemia. And I had to rush to a public hospital with her because, like I said, no health insurance. And I was way too proud to ask for help. So we rushed my mom off to hospital. She got a bunch of blood transfusions. She spent 8 weeks in hospital, which was hard for us too, because it's not the best hospital, and government healthcare in South Africa, believe it or not, isn't great, specifically for cancer patients. So I had to see my mom go through hell, through chemotherapy. As a woman who was scared of needles, she got blood tests like 8 times a day. She was on a machine that separated her red and white blood cells. All of this while I was still hoping that my sister was going to recover. At some point, a doctor came to see my sister at least, and put some sort of, because they wanted to operate on her neck, which would have been a nightmare. They put some sort of neck brace thing on, which lifted her neck enough for the vertebrae to rotate back to where they used to be, or should be. And she did well. She had the severely broken leg, but that's it. Fast forward about a year. My mom had a couple of life insurance things and like accidental death and disability cover and just things that paid out, thank God. So we could get her a transplant. And all of her siblings got tested. And my aunt, who's her older sister, was a match. And mom had the transplant in September of 2020. And we thought the worst is over. My sister's healing up. Her leg's still being a problem a year and a half later. But the leg's still a problem. But mom's on the road to recovery. So then we can focus on the kid. And we'll be fine. And then come beginning of December, mom was showing signs again of being sick and fatigued. And things weren't good. So she spent a lot of time, we thought, after the transplant, she was going to recover for a while. And for some reason, I thought that presenting with these illnesses was normal for recovery. And then about the 5th of December 2020, my mom's doctor saw her for a routine checkup and notified us that the cancer's back and it's even more aggressive. And there was nothing else they could do for her. So we didn't have the money to do anything really. Mom was getting progressively more sick, and at the end of January, she completely stopped treatment. And the 29th of March of this year, as of filming this 4 months ago, my mom passed away from leukemia, leaving behind 3 kids, and a whole life, and a lot of memories, and a lot of it's good. Like a lot of good, strong memories, and it's taken me forever to be the sole person dealing with all of this stuff, to sort of accept it and move on and find myself again. But I'm working on it. And this whole video is not for any, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I'm explaining where the hell I was for a little bit over 2 years, and safe to say about the 7th circle of hell. So my sister as well, she's recovering now. Her leg did get amputated, but that's a story for an entirely different video, if I even want to talk about it. But my mom passed away. And in the last 4 months, I have had to take care of a lot of stuff. But things are getting to a point where I can almost find myself again. And I figured I was going to sit down today and just make this video because I wanted to therapeutically talk about things, because my therapist says that's a good idea. So things will slowly be popping up on the channel again. I'll slowly dip my toe back into streaming, if anybody still cares. Do we still watch videos on YouTube? Do people still do that? Is YouTube still a thing? Ugh, doesn't matter. Whether nobody sees this or everybody sees this, I just wanted to say stuff. That's pretty much it. So things have gotten to a point where I'm finding myself in life again. Things are going well, despite how tired and sad I look right now. But it's because it is the middle of the effing night. I don't know if you can see him if I move. God, my camera's flipped, so I don't know. No, you can't. Oreo's back there sleeping because it's like 2 in the morning. But I figured I just want to sit down and hash all of this stuff out. So what I'm saying is things will slowly be returning to normal, especially on the new channel. I know I haven't posted anything in forever, but somehow more people keep finding the channel and more people keep pressing subscribe. So thanks. At least you've given me creative freedom to express myself again. And I'm sorry if vlogs aren't your thing, or whatever this video might be. I just wanted to chat to people, do things. But yeah, I'm working on immigrating. So if anybody knows how the hell to move to the US, please hit me up. The link should be down here somewhere to my Discord. Just drop in, tell me how it's going. The place is also a barren wasteland because I haven't been speaking to people in a very long time. But I just wanted to sit down, make this video real quick, talk about stuff that has been bothering me for literally 2.5 years. And yeah, I hope whoever stuck around and whoever's new, hi, sorry that this is the way we meet. But we'll definitely see where this goes, and I definitely want to get back into just making things, whether it's things that you want to see or things you don't want to see. It's kind of, I'm still gonna make them. So yeah, but thank you for indulging me for a whole almost 15 minutes, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.